What's up YouTube, Zandar here, and today we're looking at a 2014 Commander unboxing for Guided by Nature. The Commander decks are 100 card decks geared for multiplayer play, foil oversized Commander card included. It contains 15 new Magic cards! Yeah, maybe like a year and a half ago now. Anyways, I'm getting back into it. I never played Commander, EDH or whatever was not a standard whenever I played. So, I got a good deal on these. I think I paid 19 bucks for this one. I don't know if it was mispriced or if they're trying to get rid of them for the new ones that will be coming out. I assume there's new ones coming out. Let me know in the comments below if there is or is not new ones for 2015 coming out. You would think it's something they do every year. I'm sure they sell pretty good. Man, that foil card is in there, let me tell you. I'm going to bend it just getting it out of there. Alright. That's pretty neat. I don't think I'd ever play with it. Surely I can put it in a binder somehow, but how do you say her name? For Lise? Land Wars Fury? 5 mana cost. 3, that's loyalty, right? I forget. I haven't really played with the Planeswalkers too much yet. You can +2 and put a 1/1 green elf druid creature token onto the battlefield. You can tap and add 1 mana to your mana pool, 1 force to your mana pool. -2, destroy target artifact or enchantment. And she's got a glary face. Or -6, draw a card for each green creature you control. That's pretty neat. We'll put that in the neat pile. That's a pretty fancy box. Now, if this could hold the cards, that would be awesome. Well, except for it don't latch, but it's a pretty well-made box by Wizards of the Coast there. Looks like we have the cards and we have rules, because we all need to know how to play the game. And a little Commander insert. I'm assuming this is going to talk about the cards we're going to get here, how to play, how the decks play, and maybe some of the other Commander decks. I don't really know. Now, I will notice one thing that's kind of different here is typically you have a couple different stacks, or a couple different things you open, one with lands and one with like sideboards and stuff. So we'll just kind of cut this in half here and we'll just go through these. Tree Folk token. That's pretty cool looking. Oh, there's that elf druid that she can summon into play. An elemental. Another one of those elf druids. Another tree folk. Elephant. Man, that's a cool looking elephant too. He is pissed. Green Eyes of Fury. A gargoyle. We'll have to see what card that's in there for. Flying 3/4. Oh, and look, and hey, here's a bunch of land. Well, if you wanted to collect land, this is what you should buy. My goodness. Oh, I need to be careful. There's special ones in here. All right. All right. First card that looks important is a Crystal Vein. Land, tap, add 1 mana to your pool, or tap and sacrifice it, add 2 colorless mana to your pool. In Evolving Wilds, I think this is what just got reprinted, actually. Search your library for basic land card and put it on the battlefield tap. Yeah, it is. The new artwork's way cooler, so hopefully you get lucky and get one of those from Dragons of Tarkir. Ghost Quarter. Add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. Tap, sacrifice the Ghost Quarter, destroy target land. Its controller may search his or her library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle his or her library. So, kind of like a fetch land. Haunted Fringraph. Tap. A lot of these things. 3 in tap. Return a creature card at random from your graveyard to your hand. Well, that's kind of handy for a land. Havenwood Battleground, uncommon. Enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it and add a force to your mana pool. Tap it and sacrifice it to add 2 force. Well, there you go. Hey, we've been over this lady. I'm glad I actually get a real version of her and not just that huge insert. But, not so shiny. Where your shininess go? I think Wizards could have gave us one of those shiny. But anyways, Mythic Commander. Tidiana, Protector of Ergoth. 5 mana, 5/3. Whenever he enters the battlefield, return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, do you guys see that synergy? Do you see that? Whenever a land card you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a 5/3 green elemental creature. Wow, she's powerful. I've never seen her before. That's a pretty awesome card. Uzuri, and Renegade Leader. I butchered that. 3 mana, 2/2. You can regenerate another target elf for 1 forest, or for 5. You can elf creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample until end of turn. Wow, he's an elven commander, let me tell you. Yorgara Warcaller, 1 mana, 1/1, multi-kicker. Oh, I've never seen that before. 2 mana, 1 uncolored, 1 forest. You may pay an additional 1 in a forest any number of times as you cast the spell. It enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each time it was kicked. Oh, so you can kick it multiple times. Huh. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1 for each +1/+. Wow. Well, if you pulled him out late, he could be insanely strong and make all your elves insanely strong. Sylvan Safekeeper, 1 mana, 1/1, sacrifice a land. Target creature you control gains Shroud until end of turn. It can't be targeted by spells or abilities. Elvish Archdruid, 3 mana, 2/2. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. You can tap and add a forest to your mana pool for each elf you control. Hey, it's cool. It makes every elf a mana tapper. That's pretty nice. Immaculate Magistrate, 4 mana, 2/2. Tap, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature for each elf you control. Wow, there's a lot of good synergy in this deck, guys. Rin Run Packmaster, 4 mana, 5/5. It's a champion and elf. When this creature enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you exile another elf you control. When this creature leaves the battlefield, that card returns to the battlefield. Huh. 3 mana, 2 uncolored, 1 forest. Put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield. Did they give us wolf tokens? I didn't see no wolf tokens in there. Still, pretty cool. Maston Myers, 4 mana, 3/2. When the Myers enter the battlefield, draw a card. When you cast a creature spell, you may pay 2 forest. If you do, return Maston Myers from your graveyard to your hand. Not too shabby. Wolfbriar Elemental, 4 mana, 4/4. He's got a multi-kicker of 1. He enters the battlefield, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield for each time it was kicked. Alright, there's got to be wolf tokens. Yeah, I just saw elephants and element. There's going to be a crap ton of wolf tokens somewhere. There's just got to be. Reaper Hulk, 5 mana, 5/5, trample. For 2 mana, 1 uncolored and a forest. Until end of turn, target creature you control has base power and toughness, 5/5, and gains trample. Wow, it makes a little bitty elf a big elf. Oh, I've seen this card. This is a reprint. This has been around for a long time. Silk Lash Spider, 5 mana, 2/7. It's got reach. It also deals X damage to each creature with flying for 2 forest and X. There's a lot of really cool cards in this set so far. This is like a really good buy for 19 bucks. Grave Sifter, 6 mana, 5/7. When it enters the battlefield, each player chooses a creature type and returns any number of cards of that type from his or her graveyard to his or her hand. Well, we'll return some elves. What do you guys think? Primordial Sage, 6 mana, 4/5. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may draw a card. I love draw options. Oh, another mythic. Rampaging Baloths, 6 mana, 6/6 with trample. It has landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a 4/4 green beast creature token onto the battle. Wow, that's a really strong mythic. Did we have a 4/4 beast token? No, we didn't. So we're going to have some beast tokens too. We need a lot of tokens for this. Soul of the Harvest, 6 mana, 6/6 with trample, elemental. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. And lots of draw options later. That's awesome. Thunderfoot Baloth, 6 mana, 5/5 with trample. He's a lieutenant. All sorts of things I've never heard of before. As long as you control your commander, Thunderfoot Baloth gets +2/+2, and other creatures you control get +2/+2. And have trample. Wow, he's a beast. For 6 mana, he's technically a 7/7. It makes everything else 3/3 or better. That's awesome. I wonder how often your commander's dead in Commander. Huh. I don't know. I've never played. Siege Behemoth, 7 mana, 7/4, hexproof. As long as the behemoth is attacking, for each creature you control, you may have that creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. Wow, that's awesome. So many rares, guys. Holy moly, there's so many rares. Tornado Elemental, 7 mana, 6/6. It enters the battlefield. It deals 6 damage to each creature with flying. Wow, that's like a power card. Dragons of Tarkir out now. You may have Tornado Elemental assign its combat damage as though it weren't. Oh. Awesome cards. I'm saying WoW a lot. There's a lot of WoW in here. Terrastodon. I can't say it. 8 mana, 9/9. Freaking huge creature. Hey, it's an elephant. He's going to need the elephant tokens, I bet. Whenever you enter the battlefield, you may destroy up to 3 target non-creature permanents. For each permanent put into the graveyard this way, its controller puts a 3/3 green elephant creature token on the battlefield. Synergy, synergy, synergy. So I get to destroy my lands, right? Yeah, non-creature permanent. Destroy my lands, which gives me those other token. Well, wait, it gives me a token. What does that do? Let's take a look. Who was it that gave us? They come back from the battlefield and they do something. Whenever a land you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, so it doesn't say how. So I get, if I have him out and her out, which is a ridiculous amount of mana here, but I can get 3 5/3 green creatures and 3 3/3 green. If that's right, that's crazy. If that's wrong, let me know so I don't misplay that if I ever get the chance to play a commander. Another rare, Lifeblood Hydra. 3 forest and X. It's a 0/0, so I don't really know if he's worth the mana. Trample. The Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1. Yeah, go figure that. When it dies, you gain life. When life dies, you gain life and draw cards equal to its power. Wow. There's so much wow. Beastmaster Ascension. 3 mana. Whenever a creature you control attacks, you may put a quest counter on Beastmaster Ascension. As long as Beastmaster Ascension has 7 or more quest counters on it, creatures you control get +5/+5. I think it's going to take a long time to get 7 quest counters on him. Song of the Dryads. 3 mana. Enchant permanent. Enchanted permanent is a colorless forest land. So we can enchant something and then get rid of it and turn it into a 5/3. If we Wolf Caller's Howl. 4 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, put X 2/2 green wolf creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is the number of your opponents with 4 or more cards in hand. In Commander, I think it's 4 players, so it'd be 3, right? It's the max you could do, I think. I think you only play 4 people in Commander. Fresh Meat, 4 mana, instant. Put a 3/3 green beast creature token. Hey, we have that token already. On the battlefield for each creature put into your graveyard from the battlefield this turn. And we are still rares. Whirlwind, 4 mana, destroy all creatures with flying. Freaking awesome with Dragons of Tarkir out now. Overwhelming Stampede, I think I've seen this before. 5 mana cost. Until end of turn, your creatures you control get trample and get +X/+X, where X is the greatest power among the creatures you control. Collective Unconscious. 6 mana. Draw a card for each creature you control. Wave of Vitriol. 7 mana. Each player sacrifices all artifacts, enchantments, and non-basic lands he or she controls. For each land sacrificed this way, its controller may search his or her library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. Then each player who searches or her library this way shuffles it. So once again, that synergy, right? Because I'm sacrificing it, so it's going to the graveyard, so I'm not exiling it. So yeah, they're going to turn into 5/3 elementals. Ooh, another mythic. Praetor's Council, 8 mana. Return all cards from your graveyard to your hand. Exile the council. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Wow. Sylvan Offering, Forced and X'd. The sorcery. Choose an opponent. You and that player each put an XX green treefolk creature token onto the battlefield. Or choose an opponent. You and that player each put an X11 green elf warrior creature tokens onto the battlefield. Emerald Medallion, 2 mana. Green spells you cast cost 1 colorless less. Pretty solid. Sears Sundial, 4 mana cost. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. Gotta love card. Predator Flagship. 5 mana, legendary artifact. 2 mana, target creature gains flying until end of turn. 5 and tap. Destroy target creature with flying. Oh my gosh. So much dragon removal. Gargoyle Castle. Land. Tap and add 1 mana to your pool. 5 and tap. Sacrifice Gargoyle Castle. Put a 3/4 colorless gargoyle. Oh, there's where we get our gargoyle from. Artifact creature token with flying onto the battlefield. So that's probably only got 1. There's really not too much of that going on. Oran Reef, the Vastwood. It's a named land. It's like a famous place. Oran Reef, the Vastwood enters the battlefield tapped. Tap and add a forest to your mana pool. Tap, put a +1/+1 counter on each green creature that entered the battlefield this turn. Awesome. Ooh, are we out of the rares? Wow, that was a crap. Look at that stat, guys. Rares and mythics. Wow. We'll go over that. We'll see how many there was here in a second. First uncommon, I think. Jungle Basin. It enters the field tapped. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you return an untapped forest you control to its owner's hand. You can tap it and add 1 colorless and 1 forest to your mana pool. Myriad Landscape. Tap, add 1 mana to your pool. It comes into play tapped. 2 and tap it. Landscape, search your library for 2 basic land cards. Share a land that share a land type. Put them onto the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. Oh, okay, so it's 2 of the same color. That makes sense. Slippery Karst. Enters battlefield tapped. You can tap it and add a forest. Cycling 2. Discard this card and draw a card. That's the first time I've ever seen cycling. I mean, I guess that's kind of cool. Terramorphic Expanse. Tap and sacrifice it. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield, tap, and then shuffle your library. What? Why would I want this instead of just the land? Sacrifice it. Search your library for a basic land card and put it... It's got to be a basic card, so why would this not just be a forest? Someone let me know about that down. So let me know in the comments. Seriously. Terramorphic Expand. I'm going to have to Google this. Why would I play this card? This isn't a multicolored deck. I mean, it's solid green. That makes no sense to me. Tranquil Thicket. Cycling. Tap. Add forest. Alright. Elvish Mystic. Very old, reliable card. One forest. 1/1. Tap and add mana to your pool. We're probably going to see 1 of those. I thought there'd be 4. Elvish Sky Sweeper, 1/1/1, pay 5, sacrifice a creature, destroy target creature with flying. Once again, we're getting rid of the flying pretty quick in this deck. Essence Warden, 1/1/1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Pretty solid card. Llanowar Elves, 1 mana, 1/1. You can add mana to your pool. 1 of those again. I thought I would have saw 4 of those. Elvish Visionary, 2 mana, 1/1. It enters the battlefield, draw a card. Priest of Titiana, 2 mana, 1/1. Tap, add a forest mana pool for each elf on the battlefield. Sylvian Ranger, 2 mana, 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Thornweld Archer, 2 mana, 2/1, has reach, and Death Touch. That's awesome. Their arrows are ripped with basilisk eyes and fletched with cockatrice feathers. Well-Wisher, 2 mana, 1/1. You gain 1 life for each creature on the battlefield, or each elf on the battlefield. Farhaven Elf, 3 mana, 1/1. Enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card and put it on the battlefield tapped. If you do, shuffle your library. Impervious Perfect. 3 mana, 2/2. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1. Play a forest and tap them. Put a 1/1 green elf warrior creature onto the battlefield. Reclamation Sage, 3 mana, 2/1. Enters the battlefield, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. Timberwatch Elf, so 3 mana, 1/2. Tap them. Target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of elves on the battlefield. Titiana's Chosen. Uncommon, 3 mana, 1/1. Whenever a player casts a green spell, put a +1/+1 counter on the chosen. Wood Elves, 3 mana, 1/1. Enter the battlefield, search your library for a force card, put that on the battlefield, shuffle your library. Drove of Elves, 4 mana, hexproof. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of green permanents you control. Liz Alana Huntmaster, 4 mana, 3/3. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may put a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token onto the battlefield. How would you keep up with this deck? I mean, if you had more than 5 creatures out, how in the world, man, during your upkeep, I guess, if anything happens, it's just going to be chaos. Let me do my 30 things, and then you guys can play again. Harrow, 3 mana, instant. As an additional cost to cast Harrow, sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, and put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Hunting Triad, 4 mana, travel sorcery elf. Put 3 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens on the battlefield. Reinforce 3. Discard this card, put 3 1/1 counters on target creature. Overrun, this is a card I remember. 5 mana. Creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample until end of turn. Brim Flowering, draw a card for each creature card in your graveyard. Desert Twister, destroy a target permanent for 6 mana. Skull Clamp, 1 mana, equipped creature gets +1/-1. Whenever equipped creature dies, draw 2 cards. Awesome. Everything is awesome. It's all for about, you get to draw more cards. That's all it comes down. And you can kill off other people's creatures or your own creatures, depending on what you need to do. Soul Ring, 1 mana, tap, add 2 colorless to your pool. Moss Diamond, 2 mana, enters the battlefield tap, you can add a forest to your mana pool. Swiftfoot Boots, 2 mana, equipped creature has hexproof and haste, equip 1. Commander's Sphere, 3 mana, we can tap, add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Sacrifice Commander's Sphere, draw a card. Assault Suit, 4 mana, equipped creature gets +2/+2, has haste, can't attack you, or a planeswalker you control and can't be sacrificed. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may have that player gain control of equipped creature until end of turn. If you do, untap. This is what I'm talking about. 30 things later, I know what I'm doing. And the last card that's got a little bit of a curve to it. Lore Seeker's Stone, 6 mana, artifact, 3 and tap it, draw 3 cards. This ability costs 1 more to activate for each card in your hand. Well, guys, that is the entire set for Guided by Nature. I was going to go back over the rares, but that is a crap ton of rares. That's an awesome set. However, I don't think I saw any wolf tokens. Did I miss wolf tokens? Yeah, there was no wolf tokens, and there's a lot of things that played wolves. So other than that, great set. Can't beat it for 20 bucks. I mean, gosh, guys, look. That was just ridiculous. Rare, mythic, rare. That's just craziness right there. I'm excited to play Commander. If you do play Commander, let me know about it down in the comments below. What is this a good deck for me to start with? Should I do a different one? I don't know. I don't get to play Magic too much, so Commander still seems a little complicated to me, but hopefully I'll get there. So thanks for watching. Crush that subscribe button. Click like. Do anything you can to help me out down there. And thanks for playing Magic, and thanks for watching the video. I know this one was a little long. Have a great day, guys.